Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rasan 427. Actually, today, what I'm coming here to talk about is actually SummerSlam and actually Roman Reigns returning at SummerSlam. Now, at this point, it seems like it's just a foregone conclusion that Roman Reigns is actually returning at SummerSlam. And first, I was just like, well, they should have him come before SummerSlam. They actually wrestle there. But at this point, I just don't see him wrestling there. There's really not anything for him to do. A lot of people thought he would face Solo Sikoa. That was the rumor at first. And then this rumor started to tell Cody and Solo. Then everybody's like, wait a minute, that match is not big enough. But I mean, Roman coming back still doesn't make it big enough for me personally. It is supposed to be the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. But if you really think about it, if they're not doing Cody and Orton, which for whatever reason they don't want to do that yet. I don't know why. I guess it's to set up this stuff with Roman. I understand it, but it's kind of like, But Solo is the biggest heel on SmackDown. They don't have anybody else. You have to. I mean, even on Raw, who else would Cody face? I mean, maybe Drew, but he's a Raw guy. I think that would be a match that they can actually do, just because Drew got the victory over him the last time. So yeah, that is something that they could have done. But he's a Raw guy. You weren't going to do that, and he's facing Punk potentially at SummerSlam. So look at the rosters. Like outside of Orton, they don't want to do that. There's nobody else. So it makes sense. It doesn't feel like it's big enough for SummerSlam. The same thing I made a video on Damon Priest and Gunther. It's just like, but I'm a little more lenient with that just because, you know, they can do Seth later on. And Gunther's going to need opponents because I mean, there's a few different people he can face, but Seth is like the big match people want to see. I thought that was the match they would go at SummerSlam, but that's obviously not the case. But with Roman Reigns actually coming back, I think this is the thing that makes sense. This will be the first time he hasn't wrestled. He actually wrestled at SummerSlam in a while. He'll show up, and what I think they'll actually do is what I said basically months ago. Once we started to find out like Solo and Cody was going to be the match, is that Roman is going to actually help Cody retain the championship. I think that's the thing that makes sense the most. I do not believe Solo Sikoa is going to walk out with the title. I don't believe anybody really thinks that. I don't think Cody is losing it anytime soon. Just because that's the reason they did that with Money in the Bank, because Gunther, which we don't know how long he's on the title, but I think Gunther's walking out of SummerSlam with that title. I mean, maybe they extend it, but do we really want to see Damian Priest and Gunther at back-to-back pay-per-views? No. But with Damian Priest and Gunther happening, Gunther's going to hold the championship, so he's going to have it for a while. Then Cody, and that's the reason I think that Solo's not walking out with the title. I just don't think he's fit for the title. And a lot of people feel the same way as me, that Solo is just not the guy. That there's other guys in the bloodline like Jey Uso, like Jacob Fatu, even Tama Tonga I like more than Solo Sikoa. To be honest, I don't even think Solo Sikoa should be the head of the table and leading this new bloodline. I don't think he's even good enough to do it. But that just is what it is. Like, if you look at Solo Sikoa, I mean, what match? And I don't want to go on about Solo Sikoa, but what match has he had that was actually good? I can't think of a great. I mean, his best match from what I can remember is a match against Cody, the Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania 39. That's the last thing I remember that he did, but it was so great. But it'll be great to see Roman Reigns on television. The interesting thing about him returning at SummerSlam is that, and the pop will be huge. I actually beat her in person, so that'll be great. I'm not a big Roman fan, but it'll be great to see him back. Great to have that reaction in person. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with him after that, because it's not a big pay-per-view. Now, you might say Bash in Berlin, that's overseas, but he hasn't been at any of the overseas pay-per-views since, like, last year. He wasn't at Backlash. He wasn't at any of them this year, so it's not like it even matters. I don't even think he was even at Saudi this year, which is crazy. This is like the first Saudi show he actually missed, so he's actually doing less time than what he actually did. But it'd be interesting to see what they actually use him for after this. That'll be very interesting, because I think he'll definitely show up on that SmackDown. Will he show up for a few weeks and then leave? Is he going to be at Bash in Berlin? Just because that's like the next pay-per-view? Like, when does he actually come back? Last year he missed Survivor Series. I can't see him showing up at SummerSlam. Now, there's a chance he don't, but I think it's guaranteed he shows up. It just makes sense for him and Paul Heyman to return at SummerSlam. But with him after that, so do you use him at Bash in Berlin? Do you use him at Bad Blood? I don't think he's showing up at Bad Blood. He hasn't done a B pay-per-view in 2020. When the last time he done a B pay-per-view? Maybe 2022? I can't remember the last. I guess Elimination. Well, he didn't even do Elimination Chamber this year. So that's pretty much not a B pay-per-view anymore. But yeah, he hasn't really even been there. So it just it's gonna be very interesting to see where they use him. Now I was going through Survivor Series. They could do Survivor Series, but then he missed Survivor Series last year. So I think that he's going to be at Survivor Series. I think the War Games match is going to be Bloodline versus Bloodline. And the only problem with that is, what do you do with The Rock? Now I think it's a chance The Rock doesn't even show up till next year. I think there's a high possibility that The Rock doesn't show up till next year. So that'll be very, very interesting to see what they do with all this. But I definitely see Roman Reigns coming back, costing Solo Sikoa the title, because Solo Sikoa is returning on him and everything like that. When do Solo and Roman face? Because I think that's the match they're leading towards. And that all depends on what they do at next year's Mania, because there's a lot of heavy rumors that we're going to get Rock and Cody. Solo and Roman, I guess, can happen at Mania next year. But, I think the one-on-one match they're leading towards, I think we're leading to a Bloodline versus Bloodline War Games match. That's just the one thing that makes the most sense. And when Roman comes back, a lot of people think that since he's going to come back as a babyface, I think it's basically guaranteed he's coming back as a babyface. So assuming that, will he overshadow Cody? And just for me personally, I think no. Even though they're on the same brand, which I don't know if that's the right decision. I don't know if that'll stay like that, them being on the same brand. But if I'm coming back to be the biggest babyface, it's that he's still not going to be there. So it's like Cody's spot is it's taken while Roman is there, which it already was like that, to be completely honest. Come on, let's be honest. It was like that when Roman Reigns was the hill. But Cody has to send it to the top guy. And I think his spot is really not taken because Roman's still only wrestling 3 times a year, maybe less now, I don't even know. 3 or 4 times a year. He's showing up, maybe 10 times on a weekly type of thing? So, and he's working even less shows. He didn't work the stadium for Liberty Chamber. He didn't work Survivor Series, which was supposed to be the 4th biggest pay-per-view. So, yeah, while he's there, he might be overshadowed, but overall, he's not, because Roman is still not going to be there. And I don't know what his schedule is going to be. It seems like his schedule is even getting shorter and shorter. That's what it just seems like, that he's going to be there even less. But we'll see what's going on inside the fall and stuff like that, what this actually leads to. But I definitely think Roman Reigns is coming back to cost Solo Sikoa the WWE Championship. And that'll lead to that'll really kick off the Bloodline Civil War between the new Bloodline and the old Bloodline. Who will be a part of the old Bloodline? Where does The Rock lay? That'll all be things of what leads into WrestleMania. But I think we'll definitely find out what's going on at WrestleMania pretty soon and stuff like that. But I definitely think this amps up the Cody and Solo match. I still don't think it's the right decision to go with, because I feel like you could have Roman Reigns return. But then it's like, you want Roman Reigns to return in the main event. And if let's say Solo for Randy Orton, and let's say I can't use Randy Orton. Solo, if you really think about it, who else could Solo have even fought? I'm really trying to think of somebody. Let's say Solo for Kevin Owens, just randomly. And then we got Randy and Cody. Roman Reigns shows up in the middle of the show to attack Solo. He's turning at SummerSlam. Now, if you did on a random episode of SmackDown, there'll be another thing. But he's showing up at SummerSlam. That's their plan. So if you really think about it, they kind of had to have Solo main event. And the only way he can main event is if he faced Cody. He's not main eventing if he faces Kevin Owens or LA Knight. He's not main eventing. So they wanted Roman to show up in the main event. So when you think about all that, it makes sense. But I still feel like this Cody and Solo match isn't big enough for SummerSlam. But hopefully they prove me wrong and it's a great match. Will there be a stipulation added? That'll be a whole nother thing. So I think there is a chance it could be a stipulation added, because then that way Roman could just interfere. I mean, they could just knock out the referee and stuff like that. But yeah, tell me your thoughts on the comment section below. What do you think about Roman Reigns returning at SummerSlam? I know a lot of people are excited about this. Roman Reigns actually returning. I definitely think that he'll actually be there. It'll be great to see the reaction that he actually gets. And I definitely have Cody retaining the championship. I think that's how he retained. I don't see Roman helping Solo. I definitely don't see it. Roman and Solo becoming WWE champion, definitely don't see that at all. But I see Cody walking out with the championship, and I see this kicking off the real Bloodline Civil War and Bloodline feud, which is going to lead all the way into WrestleMania. Whatever match we get with Roman and Rock, or maybe Roman and Solo, only thing, if Roman don't face Rock, I mean Solo is probably the only person I can see him facing. I really don't see. I can't. Maybe Punk, but then that really wouldn't make sense yet. But it would be just very interesting to see what they do with Roman Reigns actually returning. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.